Hello everybody and welcome to episode 7 of Legends and Friends Go Global, and today we are going to have a live com back in the Bronze League against Stoke City at their Bet365 stomping ground, and certainly it is more than likely that we've put ourselves in pole position to receive promotion, but we still have a lot of demanding games to come. But if you'd like to take a moment, we can walk through the league table now. I didn't show it to you in the last episode, but here we go. We can make sense of it here. Celtic have built up an extraordinary lead of 60 points to 54 against Mainz, and they have a game in hand. But it is ourselves, the Hall of Famers, that will be on the charge, trying to catch up. We have 18 points available to catch up to Celtic. They've drawn a fair amount of games, whereas we have lost once more than they have. We are comfortably the top scorers in the league on 57. Our defensive record doesn't hold up too well. Then certainly the mid-table is what you want to look out for. I think we have the top 6 sorted now. Sassuolo in not ideal form. Pachuca trying to catch up to their fellow countrymen Monterrey, but it has been this dominant sextuplet that's been on the move, to be honest, and we can certainly see some disappointments here for the likes of West Ham, Deportivo La Coruña, and certainly FC Copenhagen, rooted to the bottom of our league. The squad dynamics are changing every now and again, and at last it looks like our match cohesion is moving. It used to be extremely poor up on the very furthest left, but we're getting a move on, and maybe, just maybe, in a year or so we'll have a good match cohesion to match the likes of my support in the managerial office, and also positive dressing room atmosphere. And then the actual hierarchy, you take a very quick look. Pretty much simple. 3 valuable team leaders there, and then other players are starting to climb up the ranks, and unfortunately it's just poor old Van der stuck on his own as an other player. It's a real shame. And then the social groups, again, it's what you'd expect. You've got Le Mans FC players up here for the most part. Then you've got Chesterfield players, and you have some of the Bursaspor lads, and the Vasco da Gama pair. And then somehow or other, some of these lads have ended up in the secondary social group B. Not ideal, but there you go. Now let's talk about the fixtures. I last left you off at Shakhtar, where a magnificent performance under the limelight of the Camp Nou. We put in the 4 goals past them when I wasn't expecting it. There was very little time to rest on the laurels. We had to dig deep and get a 1-0 win against Real Sociedad, which put us in the quarterfinals of the Ruby Championship, and then yet more cup action saw us take another slender victory against a Spanish club in Levante. FC Copenhagen, as I mentioned, are likely to be relegated, and putting or certainly scoring 5 goals against them at memory lane doesn't help their cause. And against Freiburg, another significant victory. Alcardo Van Gran pushed himself to the top of our scorers list with the 4 goals there. Monterrey, however, stopped us in our tracks, and our winning streak, which had been going on since December, was put to an immediate halt. Alfonso Gonzalez put in the double sucker punches, and we were down for the count. We recovered against Atalanta though. Jovicic, Evander, and then Kai Wisniewski made sure of that result. Copenhagen put in a very brave effort this time around in the Bronze Cup second round, and it took us a while to get going, and maybe we could have lost that game as well, and it would have been our first elimination from a tournament in the club's history. But suddenly, out of absolutely nowhere, the team that defeated us on the opening day of the league came to memory lane and were absolutely ripped to pieces. We had Fusiani Cisse smashing 4 of those goals. That's half past the hapless West Ham. We had a goal from Van Gran. Cyril Michaud came off the bench and scored twice, and Jonathan Schmid, who's been suffering with injuries, also managed to score. So that set the benchmark for the club. 8 goals without reply is phenomenal. And just recently we had defeated Gremio 3-0 in the Ruby Championship. It was certainly a fair result. We were dominant. I was worried we were going to need to get a rhythm going. The first half wasn't very entertaining, but it was Jiming Hao stepping up and delivering an injury time goal. Gary Roberts justifiably won a penalty and then put it away to mark his return from injury. And yet again, Kai Wisniewski popping up to score. So even though I haven't given him very many starts at all, he is popping up with a lot of goals, with perfect sync, 4, 4 and 4 in the top tournaments, and then he has 1 in the Bronze Cup, just to spoil the mood, I suppose. And that leaves us against Stoke. They're unbeaten in about 7 games. 1, 2... Yeah, I was exactly right. So they're on another purple patch. A few draws kind of spoiling the affair. But they've certainly had it good for a very long time this season, but now they're trying to get back to the form that saw them unbeaten the longest out of anybody. So let's head over to the Bet365 Stadium. My team has been set. It is a fairly strong one. We have the top scorer from the West Ham annihilation, Fusiani Cisse, leading the troops, and we will certainly see what Stoke have to offer, especially with one of my Hall of Famers, Ryan Shawcross, sticking loyal to the team he's been with for very many years. They've gone for 5 at the back with Mambaram Diouf, surprise right back. I didn't know he changed position. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is their right winger there, and Saido Berahino, the top scorer, up top, and then the Allen and Fletcher combination in the centre. So they've got a very flexible team, but we could certainly get the job done here. We'll just have to wait and see. There we go. We'll just give the generic team talk, and like so, we will just try and build everyone up. David Shanahan, the only real absentee from the conversation. So we've got the sounds back on, and let's see how we go. I think we're wearing our green jersey for the very first time. There we are. We look like the Republic of Ireland here, which certainly fills me with all sorts of butterflies. But there we go. It's time for the kickoff, and it is a change strip for the Hall of Famers, going left to right, and Chamberlain tries to win a loose ball. It wasn't to be, so we want to see some shots on goal. But who is going to deliver the first blow? It is Matroyan going for a rainbow corner. Dushwang has unfortunately put it well over the bar, and we'll try and get something. There's an injury for Jordan Shaqiri. That's very concerning, but we want to go on the attack. I think I'm not impressed with this opening near half of the game. Cisse on his better left foot is denied by the ever-present Jack Butland. Matroyan goes for the far post, and again that was Butland to the rescue against a Cisse opportunity. We're going to have to see what happens. Might go and hit the crosses with a lot of power. I think that's what Exposito was capable of on the right hand side. So Misha will be doing the inside forward work. There's a really mediocre cross, to say the least, and certainly a lot of people have reported either having the greatest of ease playing against Stoke in their Football Manager saves, or feeling a bit like Arsene Wenger and having all sorts of sleepless nights after going to the Potteries, but we have Jordan Takiri on the corner. That was Saido Berahino getting a header over the bar, but just like against Gremio, we are struggling in the first half despite a little bit of superiority. Possession is certainly a problem. I'm not keen on the possession play with all my legends on the pitch, but that was an extremely dour first half. I am going to have to take it out on the players. My assistant manager Simon, hope he feels the same way. But no, he actually doesn't, but it is Frank Reeves who wants a bit of a boost. He's stressed out, so we'll try and feel his point of view, and we've gotten a bit of instructions on him, but it's been an extremely disappointing performance from both my wingers, and I'll just have to tell them that. And there we go, everyone is raring to go. Second half underway. Choupo Moting will take the place of Shaqiri. Stoke certainly can't afford to have him in the physio room feeling an injury. Radaby can only get it out to Michon. Reeves has to clear. Dushwang has Cisse on the counter. Unfortunately, it is a dispossession. Muting loses it himself. Matrolian and Cisse, the target man. Pino will work it. Far post. Micho is there. Wide, or over the bar I should say. Too many instances of that. Unfortunately, we'll have to work on that on the training ground. Joe Allen to Saido Berahino, and we could be defeated in a Premier League ground yet again. This is shaking of the head stuff really, and we'll have to make a substitution. This is absolutely appalling. I don't think Pino has done a lot to keep his place. We'll bring Matrolian back and put Brian Wheeler alongside Fustieni. He has to be the advanced forward. So Micho, very disappointing as well. We could play... we can put on Guy Roberts and a Van Der, try something very different. Van Der on here. I think we'll just leave the other substitutions for later, because if you're a goal down you don't want to be tinkering when you don't have to. So here we go. Oh, it's a given dispossessed throw in. Fletcher and Joe Allen shoots. Bernardo does get his gloves to that shot, but it's going to be another set piece. And Pieters, oh, nearly a goal opportunity. Berahino probably looks on in disgust that he was stripped of the ball, but it was never a penalty. But it is Stoke City doing extremely well. We have not shown our recent form. Mambaram Diouf, oh, it's trickled alongside the 6-yard box. We're going to make our fourth change. I don't think Cisse has particularly impressed, so we can play Brian Boring there. We'll make it 4-2-3-1 again, and we can play Jose Eddie Carlos. Yeah, we might make Jose Eddie Carlos the ball-winning midfielder. We'll just have to say I need to see what you've got for me. No one has particularly done their job, and that could be 2-0. Oh, the keeper had to push it. It's extremely poor from the legends, and I just have to say this is as bad as I've seen them play, and that's Radaby injured, and that could be the end of our chances. What can we do? We can play 3 at the back. Technically it's very, very risky. We might just put Eddie Carlos in a supporting role, and Matrolian can come back to serve as a playmaker who will defend, and then we let Brian Boring push up. But yeah, that's pretty much game, set and match, I think. But I don't give up on these players easily, but we may as well just try and get them to work up until the 93rd minute or whatever it is. But that's going to be, oh dear, that should have been 2-0. I didn't see exactly what happened, but it was a far from impressive opportunity. We're going to take as many risks as possible. Matrolian very unimpressive. But we're going to keep on going. As I say, Brian Boring chips to Evander. Now it's Roberts, and I don't know why he wanted to shoot from there. 4 minutes to go. It could be Stoke romping towards victory, making us beaten again. We could have gone second in the table. Brian Wheeler, last chance. It's straight into Butland's hands. We dropped down to 5th, and we've a lot of catching up work to do on Stoke. We could have overtaken them here and now, and that's a poor cross yet again. And unfortunately, it is still Stoke on the move. Diouf working together. It's cleared to Fletcher. Joe Allen pushing up, and Choupo-Moting has done his job. He's won a corner. The fans will certainly be happy to keep the ball in that corner. Shawcross very advanced up in the field. Choupo-Moting hits the post, and it's going to be a last move now. Brian Wheeler it's a foul. The changes have been made for Stoke, and that will include some extra time. Brian Wheeler, he's hit the side netting, and that is going to be that, I'm afraid. It's Stoke remaining unbeaten. I think they deserved it on paper, really. It is a very disappointing performance. And it's going to be a lot of work to get promoted automatically, maybe. You just don't know. But it's a very, unrewarding episode, to say the least, after the absolute melee. That was the last episode. And just a lot of players were intimidated by the challenge set forth, and we've paid the price for that. Nobody, apart from Frank Reeves, got a rating above a 7. So it means more distractions for the players now. We'll play Almeria in the Little Cup, and maybe that'll help us out a bit. But certainly having to pick 11 players to start out of a squad of 40 players that could be considered first teamers is certainly the most difficult aspect of what is otherwise a very biased challenge, I think. So Stoke City do themselves a big favour there. They could overtake Mainz with their game in hand, but if we had won, that would have been 52 points and Stoke would have been on 51. So it does go to show it makes a big difference. But Mustang in the boardroom, he's not necessarily going to be upset with me. Radaby will be out for about a fortnight, so we'll have to just let that go. And we've paid the price, and players picking up injuries and trying to get back into action. But there you go. That's the way the thing crumbles. But the point I probably should have made was that we've been drawn to play Liverpool or AC Milan, so a repeat of 2 Champions League finals, possibly in the semi-finals of the prestigious Ruby Championship, whereas Juventus will play Atletico Madrid, the 2 teams that fell victim to Real in recent Champions League finals. So we'll come back and we'll take on either the mighty Liverpool or the once fearsome AC Milan. Not so much these days, but in this database they could make a rebound. So there we go. We have majority of home games coming up, but certainly tough opposition. We might comment on the Mainz and Bremen games because we need to be winning them if we're going to be taken seriously as league winners. And Celtic, we will have to wait yet longer for them. They've been moved back further and further down our schedule, but anyway, that's just the way it goes. Thank you very much for watching. I'll speak again soon. Goodbye.